Alec, welcome back. All right.
Yes.
Coming off a high in the last episode of Survivor Panama, where Courtney was voted out by Cerie's little 3-2-1 vote.
You know what?
Exciting vote.
I think I have to give this retroactively. I think I'm gonna have to give it my Survivor Star
It's about
award. That
time.
was
I
a
think you
great.
robbed a couple episodes of the star, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
this is a star episode. I don't know why I didn't give it last time. It was just not in a giving mood or something. Great episode. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
all around fantastic episode. Um, the reward challenges were interesting. Or the challenges in general were interesting and fun. Um, the just all the games, all the mind games, all the strategy playing out, and actually making this thing happen, which it could not happen at any other point in the game, really. But this 3-2-1 vote, which is
Right.
crazy. It's
Yeah.
absolutely crazy.
It's just a
And she just so
joy.
happened to be in such a perfect position to make a move like this happen and make it work. It's
Mm-hmm.
just we don't see anything like that really.
Yeah,
So
it's very
it was
rare.
awesome.
I mean, we've never seen anything. Yeah, it was like
No,
so many. Like in the final six, they had three different like groupings or single person that had came in thinking different things were gonna happen. Like usually, if there's like some like if there's someone who doesn't know what's gonna happen, it's gonna be the one person left out, or it's gonna be like a two-sided thing.
right.
But this is just straight up picking people apart in different arrangements here, and like everybody like thought they could trust who they were trusting, and so
Right,
interesting.
but it's completely and utterly understanding all of the dynamics, at least to the point where you know what where you can find cracks and find and take advantage of any sort of like weaknesses or misgivings or insecurities in any of those sort of little alliances. So that's just stellar play on her part. The fact that she's played such a quiet and observant game to the degree that she has, really has been it's been awesome. And it's really fun to see it coming to real fruition here in this episode. So yeah,
And yeah, the Kasaya crew just continues to deliver the
but yeah,
goods in each
extremely
episode.
entertaining. Yeah,
All right, so let's see what's going on in this episode. Because now we're gonna get what's the aftermath of that, right? That's interesting in
yeah,
itself with all these
that's
freaking
gonna be
personalities.
it's gonna be kind of wild.
Because
Kind of wild. I'm wilding to
Shane
find it.
was pissed about being left out of the freaking reward, and
Yeah,
they freaking reassured him like, "Oh, we're all on the same page. We're on the same page." And then he's like completely blindsided by this Courtney thing. So
yeah.
that'll be interesting.
So
All right.
he's on his back feet here.
As always, click the link in the description to see the highlights of our reaction and come back afterwards for the discussion. All right.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it. That's episode 13 of Survivor Panama. Shane, he's gone.
Shane's gone, man. Oh, our entertainment, man.
What a character, right?
He's a character and a half. Yeah, that's for sure.
All right. Well, what do you think of the episode?
It's pretty good. Yeah, I mean the family episodes are always a good time. Um, Interesting seeing this come to a head in this particular fashion. Um, it, it's interesting that they felt that like I don't know like where Aris was all of a sudden like well he's not I'm not allied with him now because of something because he wanted to vote because
Because he
he
planned to take
I
Courtney to the end, I think is what it was.
so and he didn't like that. It's like who is he gonna take then? That's the
Well,
thing
he was
I'm
saying like
kind
his
of
freedom
curious
of
about.
his obligation, I guess. You know, if
Yeah,
him morally to do so. I guess
You
get
just,
him off the
despite
hook.
the fact, which is strange to me because it's like he wasn't behind. I don't know. I just think that's odd because he wasn't not the one behind voting her out. Yeah, I don't know. It's just that's kind of weird to me, but I don't really like. I just don't quite understand the logic for that reasoning. But I mean, whatever makes you,
It's just
whatever
whatever
logic you,
justification. It's not. It's not
whatever.
like
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
he was
Whatever
always fine
justification
with
you,
not with taking Shane out. I think it's just
yeah,
now if he gets to the
sure,
end, he can kind of justify it. I guess in his mind.
right. Well, that's what I mean. It's like he's not making a whole. I mean, he's never been the most logical person there. He, like I said, he feels kind of like a youth pastor at certain
Yeah,
points.
but
So,
he's smart. He's smart. He's
oh, I'm not saying youth pastors aren't smart. I'm just saying he just gives off strong youth pastor vibes. That's all I'm saying. Um,
so Terry won both challenges today. Won the reward challenge where you got to allocate the love. What do you think of that? You got to pick. You get to pick two to go on this retreat to the cabana. You get to pick one to go back to camp with them, and then one to get a hug and one to go to Exile Island with no love.
no love except words of affirmation. Yeah, I mean, that was interesting. I thought it was kind of an interesting way of that of weaponizing a reward, I guess you could say. But
A little
like,
spin on it.
yeah, I thought it was nice. I mean, it was. I'm glad at least everyone got like a moment, with their loved one at least. So
Yeah. And then they had the whole little tiff between Aris and Terry about Aris saying that my mom was my rock, just like your wife's your rock, and you're saying that this rock is more important than this rock, you know.
hmm
And then like they're both saying like he's 46, so he should treat me with more respect, and then he's like he's 24 and he doesn't know any better. He'll realize one
yeah,
day. But yeah, we're both kind of on the Terry train on that one.
yeah. I mean, it's just kind of like it's like your mom is a special part of your life, but when you get married, that is like the most important relationship of your
That's so
life.
interesting.
Like, and it supersedes everything that came before it and anything that will come after. Like when you're so like, yeah. I mean, I think that comes with,
Especially adult life,
yeah, for
when you're
sure.
not like spending every minute. You're spending every minute with your wife or your husband.
Right. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, I understand where he's coming from, or it's like, hey, our loved ones are just as important to us as your wife is to you. But it's like, okay, but like he has to make a decision based on something, So
Right.
it's like,
Yeah, and that's the easiest
so
thing to go to. If you're not just like picking who your favorite people are that I want to give love to, it's like, well,
yeah,
this love is in a hierarchy of love. I kind of value it a little more from my experience.
right,
Yeah.
right,
So then Terry won
yeah,
his fifth straight immunity. No
insane,
one else has
insane.
won immunity yet.
Yeah, he's just riding this high here. It's kind of
And
crazy.
as he said, it
Um,
doesn't just get him to the 4, it gets him to the 3 because he has that island.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, that's pretty crazy.
So he's literally one competition away from
Yeah,
at least getting to the end.
yeah,
That's crazy.
that's wild. We've never seen anything. I mean, even Tom's dominance. It's like this is yet another level.
Yeah. But I mean, Aris's argument in that tribal council is like you don't win the game by just winning challenges. You win the game by winning people over. And if he
That's
doesn't,
true.
so he's saying like, well, if you didn't make any social connections or strategic moves, then what are you even gonna win in the end? Basically.
It's true, but you also then have to take into account like who are the people that are feeling burned right now. Like our last two vote outs, those people have just straight up gotten betrayed by everybody. So it's like where are their votes going to go? That's still a little up in the air because there's still time for them to stew on that. But I mean, like, Shane is somebody that's gonna stick with him for until the final tribal. Like, I don't see him if Terry makes it to the final two. I don't see him voting for anybody other than Terry. I mean, like maybe he will. Maybe his question to them at the end. Maybe that'll prove me wrong. But especially the he's feeling right now, I don't know how he could think any differently. Because he's told by like everybody that like, yeah, we're gonna be in Final Four, man. Here we go, and then no, right. Not the case. So
yeah, he got duped a couple times here.
Yeah, you got duped at the previous. Yeah,
he got duped in the Courtney vote, and they were immediately, because they had a nice story for it, they were immediately able to just quickly get him to get over it, and he was right back on track. He was like, no funny business, right? And there absolutely was funny business. And
there was a lot of funny business.
They gave him the business. That's what it
they gave. They did for sure. That's definitely the case. So
I love his freaking faces as the votes were being revealed. He's the most expressive.
He does. He always does. He always has. Well, especially the last two, especially he's just been showing it off.
So unusual. Even the way he was like, he's like, I'm gonna have a chocolate bar in 1 minute. 1 minute. And then just like a few beats of silence. Just
I like how the music stopped there too. Like the music wasn't even playing. So.
And then he just like he looks back as he's walking away, and then he just like awkwardly starts like running off down the path.
Yeah.
Something about that.
Pretty
guy,
crazy.
Man.
There's something about that guy. Yeah, that was
At least we got an endearing moment with him in Boston. You know, it was nice.
Yeah, I thought that was some good, wholesome stuff there with him and his son.
Just like he like his son was talking about how he's like a brother more than anything. He's like a kid.
Yeah.
With our relationship. I'm just so
I
just can't imagine Shane as a father, like what that's like.
I know. I mean, Shane's even said that like he's almost like a brother to him, like because he had him when he was so young. So, yeah, I mean that is sort of going to be that, just especially the way that there's the person that Shane is. I mean, it's hard to think of it as anything else but that kind of a father-son relationship where it's almost like they're buddies. So.
Yeah, but I'm like imagining these episodes. Like, is he having these kinds of episodes throughout the day? You know, like.
I hope not. You know? Boy.
This is my chair, mine.
Yeah, he gets his chair. His one chair. Okay, Dad, I want to sit in your chair.
Yeah. You just come back in like 10 minutes, and he's like a different person. You know, he's having fun again. Anything else for the episode you want to highlight?
Terry's wife being a strategist. I think that was really fun and interesting.
Right.
That was kind of goofy. I mean,
the idol. I was like, okay, you didn't have to mention it. It's a little on the nose, but he's like, he didn't mention it to me. No, he didn't say.
No, it's like he didn't. Yeah, what idol? Oh, I don't know about that. You on that goofy island?
He hasn't mentioned it, so you would have thought if he did have it, he would have mentioned it to me. That's weird.
Yeah, that silly idol on that goofy island.
She can give us a lot of gold. Yeah, like.
Yeah. Oh man, he's hilarious. He's a barrel of laughs. That guy is
Survivor character for sure.
Oh, for sure. He's in my new All Stars right now. Yeah. Like if we're having an All Star rosters from now, he's absolutely there. Yeah.
What's interesting?
How could you not?
Well, when you said his wife, I thought you were going to talk about him like, I'll be good. Him saying, "I'll be good to you."
Oh yeah. Then it was like the fadeaway to the moon. It's like, dang.
It's like, wow, they just snuck that in there.
They snuck it in there.
The cameraman just chilling in the room, like as they're about to get it on.
Yeah.
He's like, I gotta stay here, guys. I have to stay the whole time just in case some strategy comes in.
Some strategy, mid or post coitus. I don't know. I don't care.
I'm right here. Just act like I'm not here. All right.
Just act like I'm not here. Just pretend I'm not here.
Action.
Cut. And cut. Yeah. Boom. That's a wrap.
All right.
All right.
MVP for the episode. So
I mean, you gotta give it to Shane. You gotta give it to Shane, baby. I mean, he was just it's all over. Like he a whole full gamut of human emotions with Shane.
it's true. The
It's
whole
like,
gamut, like
yeah,
pure joy. Like he no place he'd rather be on Earth than with his son. He said,
yeah.
and then he's like,
Joy, elation, tears, sobbing. Like,
how about he's so comfortable too. He felt so comfortable. He's like, I really got myself set
yeah,
up,
yep,
and I can beat anybody. Which, by the way, seemed ridiculous to me. Like,
yeah. I
could
don't
he
know how you
beat?
would
I
think
don't
that.
know how if he could have beat anyone. Honestly,
Yeah, I don't.
but um,
Yeah, I did think it was interesting. He's like, "Well, I'm kind of being taken along here." It's like, "Yeah, you are. You are getting
well,
taken
he said
along
that
for a
under the
ride."
tribal council,
Yeah,
he thinks
yeah,
they think they can beat me or have a better chance.
yeah,
But in his head, he's already said that he thinks he can beat anyone. He's just like, oh, I'll just put on
yeah,
next. But that's really the reality, Shane. Actually,
yeah.
it's just a
It
weird
kind of,
like lack of self awareness. We know that about
yeah,
him though.
yeah,
Calling other
a little
people
bit.
crazy when he's just threatened to kill them. Like, so.
Oh man, you really got to give it to him though. It's just like what an entertaining guy.
All right,
They're
so
losing it.
for the final four, what's your power ranking? And then maybe we take a trip down, talk about each of them. You want to do that this episode?
Final four. So we got Terry, Aris, Danielle, and Suri. I think power rankings. I think we got Suri, Aris, Danielle, Terry. I think that's it. So let's talk about all of them. I think Suri has a spectacular chance of winning if it's going to require her to find some way if she so I think the difficulty is going to be in the final challenge. I think ultimately, um, I think it might be difficult to convince. It's hard to say. I think if like final three is Terry, Aris, Suri, I think it's hard to say like who either of them would choose to go to pick. I think the obvious choice for them would seem to be to just pick each other, one or the other. Suri, they might think to pick, maybe, potentially what they're thinking, either with an agreement that they may make or. But I don't know because she's played her game so slyly. It's if they've been able to pick up on the fact that she's been controlling this game for a really long time. And I don't know if anyone can pick that up. So I think she has a decent chance. If she can get into the final three, she may have a pretty good chance of being taken if she doesn't win the immunity challenge, which gives her an extremely good chance of winning, I think. So I think she's set herself up quite well with the people that she has in this final four here.
And think about like where she started and where she's at now.
Yeah,
like
I know.
the older
It's
women,
like night and day.
Like she was the older women tribe. She barely like only by putting it on Tina did she manage to get out of that like
Yeah.
tribal council, 4-person tribal council barely.
Yeah.
And then she was with Melinda with the Kasaya people, and she was always after narrowly edging out Melinda there with her social connections. She was supposed to be the next one gone, easy. And then suddenly it's like people completely forgot that she was on the out. She was like right in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
And just worked her way in there. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, she just by playing the social game so well, she took the target off her back by like making people somehow forget about her as a to get rid of.
And
so
these people are confiding in her, like she's like
a
trusted ally.
Yeah.
More so than the original like freaking 5 5 or 6 that they put together.
Right.
So what about
now in terms of RS, I think he might have the hardest chance of winning. I think you could make the argument Danielle does, but I think the problem with Aris is that I don't know if he may have enough social graces to it's more evened out, I think, depending on who he may have a chance to go with. He's been a dominant physical threat. He's seemingly been a fairly social person. People don't seem to not like him, but he's also been targeted a lot as somebody that needs to get out significantly. And he's just sort of been able to play the game and stay in sort of Ceri's good graces. I don't know if Ceri maybe has a plan to maybe take him along and get herself voted. If she ends up going to two, I don't really know the whole case there. I think Aris's game has been primarily trying to just get ahead of Terry. And it just has never really come through for him. And so it's tough. I think he's done a pretty good job though of being able to squeeze out of, because I think there was a time where it was like he was the guy that had the target. It wasn't it last time. It was the last time he was the guy that had the target, I think.
Well, people always mention him as a name, but he did have that solid.
Yeah.
He was always in solid with Shane, Ceri, and Danielle at least.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's tough. So he's sort of been able to position himself in a semi leadership role, or at least the face of one. Especially with Shane, and especially with just that general group. But I don't know. It's tough to see if other people would be willing to vote him over Ceri if they realize what Ceri has, or Terry. Now Danielle, I think, is the only one where it's sort of like split. I think Danielle's interesting because her game has been pretty coasty. It's been a lot of being sort of taken along by other people. I think she has tried to work some strategies, but it seems to me that she's always sort of course corrected a little bit by Ceri. Like we saw her try to pull that thing over with like, oh yeah, we'll pause it with Terry and that'll work out for us. And then it's like Ceri's like, no, like that's not a good idea. Because of course he wants to take you guys along.
It's almost like her biggest move was in the pre-merge when she was steering the ship towards Bobby versus Bruce when they wanted to flip it on Bobby. They wanted to flip it on Bruce, and she kind of like got everybody on track. Like, no, this is not good. So that's like one of the more notable times where she took control or had a bigger say. Other than that, she has been she was a little bit of a punching bag when it came to like Shane, like always downplaying her, like saying she's doing nothing, and so she's had to deal with that and kind of being underestimated a lot.
Yeah, she's been lumped in with Courtney a lot. I think she seems to me to be trying to play the game a little bit more with more gumption than I would say Courtney did. Not that Courtney wasn't playing the game or anything, but to me it seems like she's always worked that little bit harder, been a little bit that more serious about strategizing and about it, she seems, well, that's what I mean. She seems to be really trying to strategize and really trying to play the game. I mean, heck, she just spent 2 days on Exile Island, so that was good on her there.
It's as much crap as she gets, and she's gone to exile a few times now.
It's a couple of times now.
Seems to have taken it well, like
taken
it in stride, and she hasn't had like emotional like outbursts, or like her moves don't seem to be like emotionally driven. You know, she thinks logically about most of it.
Right. So that's the thing, is that she's sort of allied herself with a lot of different people too. I think there's people on the council that would definitely vote for her over somebody just based on the bonds that she's made. So, and that does leave Terry. Terry has played an extremely dominant physical game. He's played an extremely dominant game with all the odds stacked against him. He's literally just like dug his way past the competition to save himself, to stick down in the sand, to just get up to just that point where the water doesn't come drown him. He's somehow been able to do it, to dig himself out, and I don't know if that's going to be enough for a Kasaya heavy council. But the thing here is that a lot of people have been burned along the way. Bruce has always sort of felt on the outs. Courtney just got screwed over. Shane just got screwed over. And that's some benefit to him, in addition to still having his Lamina counterparts there too. So he does have some legitimate strengths, and if he's able to get to the final three and even up to the final two, it's tough to see a scenario in which he doesn't stand any sort of a chance of winning. I think he has, like, honestly, it's a split between him and Suri. I think it's going to be difficult for either of them to maybe. I think Final Tribal is going to mean a lot in this game, like maybe more than it has in a lot of other Survivor seasons.
I mean, that final challenge means everything too, right? Like that.
I mean, sure, absolutely, yeah. I mean, big time, yeah, definitely.
He just got himself a ticket to Final 3 guaranteed. That's one challenge away. And the winner of that could really determine a lot. But it's interesting. Terry is the last Lamina. He outlasted all the Lamina people pretty handedly. Like, even on Lamina, he was always the leader, you know, and you never see the leader person really last this long of a tribe, but it's just by sheer willpower, basically, you know. If Kasai had it their way, he would have been out first at the merge, you know. It's like, but he had to literally win every competition in order to prevent that, and it's like, in what would have otherwise been a steamroll, he just like forced himself in there. He's like, no, I'm gonna force myself all the way to the final 3, you know.
Yeah, he's really like, he's forced his way for sure. And the thing is, like, I know Aris was making like a deal. It's not just about the winning immunity and the competition stuff. It's the social game. And it's like, the thing is that I don't think Terry's done anything to make himself unlikable. I mean, there's a few people that don't like him for various different reasons, but he hasn't like alienated himself or like had any outbursts or done anything that's like off-putting, like maybe someone like Shane could be seen as potentially having. Like, he seemed generally well accepted and well liked, and it's really only within the last maybe week or so of the competition where people are starting to show a little bit more like annoyance with him, just because, I mean, he has every reason to make little side comments and remarks about things, because, like, he's been on the outs this whole time and he doesn't know the strategies and he doesn't know everything that's going on, really. So he has to just try to do what he can to try to play the game. And I think that's something that we even talked about in this episode, where it's like he's tried like pretty much everything he could possibly do.
So many pitches all failed. All fallen on deaf ears.
Yeah, which is like, you know, I guess that's all the power to Kasaya for staying true to a degree anyway. But it's definitely left some people feeling burned in the end. So it's, I don't know. This is interesting. This has turned out to be an extremely juicy and interesting season of Survivor. So for having such a kind of wet fart of a beginning, it's a very interesting season.
No, like wet fart only in the sense that the other tribe is boring. You know, whenever we have to go to the other tribe.
Right, and I more mean like the first couple of episodes where it's like, you're introducing Exile Island, you have 4 different tribes, and it's like, there's a lot to have kind of all at once here, and like a lot of it wasn't feeling it was landing, and I don't know about this, but yeah.
But you know what about Terry? He's a very unique circumstance. Like, I don't think we've ever seen anyone in this position where we've had people that were threats, and it's like we would like to get him out, but it's never been so on the nose. Like, if you don't win this challenge, you are going. and
Yeah.
that's like everybody versus you. And not only
Yeah.
that, but you don't really get to play the game as it's intended. Like you're not having any
Right.
influence on actually what's going
You,
on.
you have no possible way to like socially like uh put yourself in
Integrate.
there because
Yeah.
no one really wants to have no one is giving you the time of day to give you any sort of credence. Like the only opportunity that you had there was when with Courtney and Danielle, and then that was snuffed out when they got back to the tribe.
Like his main
Because
opportunity was in the very beginning. If you could swing Bruce over with
oh
Lamina,
right, that was probably the biggest play, but like Bruce wasn't even willing to do that.
but
So
after that point when they took out Lamina and then he was just winning everything, it's like you actually have no reason to entertain what he's saying because it's like not even in their best interest at that point. It's like you're just gonna win
yeah,
everything. So if you lose, we're gonna take
yeah,
you out. But like then
yeah,
he just keeps being surprised by these last few votes too. Like he doesn't, he's trying to
yeah,
vote for Danielle and Aris, and then it's just always someone else.
yeah.
So it's like we're
Crazy.
not even gonna clue him in on what's going on.
Crazy. Well, like I said, this is going to be a really fascinating final four, I think.
You know what's interesting is that we mentioned before there's an extra episode, but it's actually like almost another extra. It's not because of the closer look. They actually have usually the finale is the final four, but for this season they actually did a whole episode for the final four before the finale.
Oh, interesting.
So
Interesting.
next
Huh.
episode will be final four, and then we'll have the finale after that. So
Okay.
that'll be interesting to see how it
Mm.
goes. But yeah, as we know, Final Four, there's a lot of things that can happen. You know, challenges are big, and with this freaking the idols coming in, you know, we already know that. So it's
Yeah.
like, so there's a lot. It's a lot.
There's a lot. There's a lot can still happen in this game, honestly. But hey,
All
looking
right.
forward to that.
Yeah. What video would you recommend our viewers watch?
You should go check out episode. You should check out episode 13 of episode 13 of Survivor Guatemala.
Mm-hmm. She's gonna. We could just always do the same number episode of a different season.
Same number. Yeah. I mean, it
Guatemala.
makes sense. You're in the same sort of like timbre of what's going on, you know, the same vibe to a degree.
Same part of the game, basically. I think this was like
Yeah.
the Curse of the Car episode 13, if I'm not mistaken, where Cindy wins. You could have given the cars to everybody else, but you.
It was, but she took the car to herself. Yeah, and she went, and then she just accepted the car.
The car curse.
She wants to tempt fate, and then.
And that's what single-handedly lost her the game.
That is it. That's it alone. Yeah. Well, they were all kind of pissed off at her for doing that, but she would have been voted out anyway. So let's be honest.
Well, yeah, and of course. Now we're tracking though this car curse. Will it stay intact or will it be broken?
We'll have to see. I don't know.
One man to do it. It's Terry. He'll find.
It's Terry. I think he would be one of the only people to do it. I mean, look at all he's done so far. I mean,
just look at his physique. I mean, what a man.
I mean, his wife was looking at his physique. She was saying, "Look how thin he is. I can't wait until he puts on muscle again and it shaves that horrible beard." I was like, "Dang, he's a good-looking dude. I don't know what you're talking about."
Still jumped his bones.
Yeah.
End, so
probably anyway.
they just cuddled. That's all it was. I'll be.
It was just some nice little snuggles. Do you think that at the reunion they'll be like, so did you guys actually did you sleep together? Did you like do the deed?
Everybody's talking about here it is. And it's like, all right.
Man sleeps with wife. Man sleeps with wife. Can you believe it?
Very controversial scene. Yeah.
Controversial TV. Man sleeps with wife. I can't believe that just happened. So. Wow.
I actually got some extended footage from that scene. Here it is. It's just like the most creepiest angle of like they clearly don't know the cameraman's there. It's like creeping in. And they're all shocked. They get their shocked reaction in the reunion. Oh wow, I didn't know you recording the whole time.
Wow, I think
Great.
there's a lawsuit in your future. All right.
Thank you
There it
for
is.
watching. Come back next week for the penultimate. Even though the finale is kind of the penultimate episode, but it's really the penultimate to the whole ending of the game here. All right. Subscribe to
Cool.
the channel if you enjoyed. Like the video. Leave a comment. Hit the notification bell and click the links in the description for our social media.
Alrighty.
Whoa.